Good morning and welcome everyone. Samina ji, you can start.
Yes. Can we wait or should I start?
Please start. It is live now.
Okay. Yes. So a very good morning to everyone here, even on YouTube. And this is Samina Barodwala, and speaker and an author of various books. I am on this Maven platform coming today morning to deliver something which is so important in our lives. We all know it, and yet we ignore it. Not because we are fond of it, it is a sort of a slip of a mind, in the sense that what we aspire for, there only we make haste. Now, what am I talking about? It's almost like, the full stop that we do when we write a comma and a full stop. So, I'm talking about a pause today. And the pause is like a comma which we put in our writings. Now, why is this pause so essential in our lives? So we all know, that life cannot go in one direction or in one stream or in a continuous process of non breakable. So it has to be broken up. It has to be weighted on. It has to be delivered in small doses. The small doses of happiness that only come because we have paused in our lives at various stages at the right time. Now, if you would understand this introduction that I have given, what do you think I'm going to talk about and what is a pause? Anyone?
I think pause, we can say, is like a break between an activity and means it like here you are mentioning. So, yeah, it could be maybe a break, a small break, and which help us to rethink about the activity and also make sense of what we are doing.
Exactly. Yes. In a way, you're right. What we want is, that these breaks that we take throughout the day, it could be in the work sphere that there are people who are, so driven to work that they forget to take the pauses. And what do you think are the repercussions for that? We know that the repercussions are many and very dangerous at times. I'll just name a few. You will also uh, pitch in if you feel you can support this statement. So the thing is that the person who works for a deadline or who works continuously without a stop, without a pause, we see there are so many cases today of overstressed people, or the eyes, which takes a toll because continuously sitting in front of the computer leads a hazardous this to the eye. Now, what exactly happens? That the person is. Give me a minute, please. Yes. So coming back to our topic, it is that if they don't, like even doctors, when they visit the doctors also say that you need to stand up from your seat every 2 hours, take a walk in your premises, just have a sip of water or a visit to the loo, which would really set the pace right for your body and for your eyes. So the eye gets such a strain by continuously looking at the screen that the person develops, a lot of um, difficulties. And then they're given drops. And I have seen so many people cut off from work for 2 to 3 days, not able to function because of the stress and the discomfort to the eye. So, not only that, not only physical, but there are many repercussions on the mind also, that it burns out very fast. The capacity of the mind to concentrate, it loses its focus. You are driven to unnecessary hurdles, in the way, and so many things. So coming to that, we find that the pause, like supposing, I don't know how many of us knew that, but earlier, when we were small, we used to drink water in a gulp. But now we know what is the change, right? How do we drink water? Anyone? So we know that we drink water sip by sip and not in one go, only because it is said that, science has known it from long, but we were not aware of it, that the more pauses you give in between, you have to drink the water in 3 gulps. And why is it that? Because water is also something that has to be digested by the body. And if we, it's almost said like, eat your water and not drink your water. So we go about it slowly and surely. In the same way, even in this conversations, when we are talking, if we talk at a stretch, we have found that those speakers are not so appreciated. There is this pause, this sort of modulation of voice that lends a charm to the speaker, and the more the pauses at the right places gives a very defined personality and uh, appreciation of the person who's speaking, because the mind has to first follow and understand and imbibe rather than just going at one go. Just apna speech hai, so we have to just deliver it and get away with it. No, it's not that. It's the impactful and assertiveness along with the pauses, as I said, and that speaker is applauded more than the person who spoke at a stretch. Do you believe me? Anyone?
Yeah. Can we repeat the question?
I'm saying that the person who goes step by step, with pauses and proper, uh, you know, um, at the proper speed, uh, is applauded more than the person who speaks at a stretch without any modulation of voice and without any pauses at any space. So, which one would you appreciate?
Yeah. Yeah. Something because pause without pause, it will be difficult to understand.
Yeah, yeah. So, even in wherever you are, whether you're in a college or a school or with friends or just at home also or with your workers, all the time you have to see that you are delivering and taking a pause, watching their expressions and their eye movement, that have they understood. And in case if they have not understood, even if they don't say it, you come to know. And if they say it fine, then you can explain all over again.
Mhm.
So it is so important that, the pauses really lend a sympathetic ear and an appreciative nod to the person who's speaking. In the same way, in college also, colleges also, when the professor, the lecturer is speaking, what happens is that there are some, who just rattle off. We are not blaming anyone here, but we haven't been aware of this, or we have not been more conscious of this fact, that I have to go along the way wherever I am in life with the right pauses to give me a breather and to help the opposite person to understand and, as I said, imbibe what you're saying. And that really makes a difference in different speakers who come on the platform. Here we also have the example of nature. If you will see in nature, there is every time things happen at a pace, they don't happen hurriedly. Have you ever felt or thought about it in this way, what I'm talking about?
Yes, in
Well,
nature it is quite visible. Like even though there is a regularity, but then there is a you know pause also. Like the if there is a day, then there is night. Then again there is a day. So and in the sessions also, if you talk about there is a pause. Like
yeah. Even the seasons,
yeah,
which give us a break. Like there are 3 or 4 seasons according to whichever climate, geographical location you're living in. And you feel that even nature takes a pause at every step, and it's so essential and important, and we start appreciating and learning that, and so we learn so many things from nature, and we understand that we have to apply that same law of pause and doing things at a comfortable pace and space rather than hurriedly and hastily. It is also said that the one who makes haste is completely a waste. Why? Because when we do things in haste, we have seen many people, they make so many errors and they're so hitched up that the mind is not very clear. And because of the not the clarity of the mind, the work gets affected and they have to redo the entire thing again. And the boss will tell them, to certain employees who are so hyper, that why don't you calm down? You can take it at your own space. I give you 2 hours or whatever. You can do it till tomorrow, but do it well. Same with studies of the children, we have seen that the parents force the child to study. But we have seen, in our counseling and examples of this uh, studying this children behavior, that they exactly know when to study, when to stop. And you will see these children at 1.5 hour or 40 minutes, that is the pace of the human mind for concentration. They do move away from their books and their study and do a different activity. That is the time when the mother says, "You're not studying, huh? I am seeing that you are dilly dallying and not concentrating." And so it is not a robot. He's not a robot, and it can't be that he can continuously perform without a break. But this is what parents of today do not understand because they're so much in a haste for the competition. At the same time, they want their children to get above 97. And the child is now so stressed with all the pressure that instead of performing well, he performs average or even below average. So, why don't we understand one human aspect, that in whatever phase, as I said, at home, at office, in school, colleges, wherever you are, the pace and the pause is so essential that if we don't follow that rule, then we are in a great danger to our health, to society, to to everything, to family. And in order that this doesn't take place, we are consciously performing at a particular pace and not hurriedly and not hastily. So that the parents have to understand that instead of giving 8 hours of study in a day, if the child even studies, for 4.5 hours or 6 hours, but with a proper uh, this time given to different activities, or it could be just that he's sitting, with nature near the window or at the balcony and watching the birds and so it's so nice, but that is the time when parents think he's wasting time. But it is recovering, recapturating, the essentials of uh, how a pause is so important for the mind to function well, for the mind to come back to that pace of reading, understanding, and remembering. And this is so important, as I said, in every phase of life that, we have seen even children who walk hurriedly or who run, it's good for them. But at times, even parents tell them that why don't you walk with a proper pace, that you get breathless. And it's good for sports, as I said, and it's good for building up. But at times, when we are going for some particular task or activity outside, we need to go at a pace where we are reach there comfortably, especially for interviews. We have seen that the candidates who go late for an interview land up in so much trouble because they don't know what's happening. The heat outside is unbearable. The whether the hair are in proper place or not, is the dress, the suit, that is the tie in the air, one in the air, one on the shoulder. So all these make an impact on the um, person who's conducting the interview. So we again need to go 10-15 minutes earlier so that we take a deep breath and we sit down there calmly, completely in waiting to go for the in expectation and eagerly waiting for your turn, and not like hedged up, oh, what will I say and what will I do. So there also the mind has to be calmed down, and with a pause, if they think yes, everything will be okay, and is my appearance, is my dress, my shoes, everything okay, then you find that that candidate wins the race, wins the means gets the job. So we have seen so many examples and different scenarios in life that, this pause that is not experienced by some who want to hurry up things and who want to hasten up, find that it's only a hurdle in the way rather than a others. They're trying to save time, but that time is lost because the energy that had been consumed in that fast paced activity has been totally futile, not at all helpful, not at all, uh, you know, uh, perfect. So, any questions on this? You can come up. Any ideas that I may have missed? Anything that you feel that, yes, this pause is needed here and we are not having, please come forward and tell us about it.
Yeah, Neelamji, Minaji, would you like to share your ideas of pause?
No one?
I think
Where do you?
I can share. So sometimes the pause is not always voluntary. So even if it happens like involuntary, like I'm doing something, or even when I write, or and if there is a break, because of any reason, every time when I come back to the work, I find it improves the thought process. So because now you can think and see differently, so it helps to move forward in a much better way rather than if I would have continued the work. So I think you get more easily tired if you are doing a thing continuously versus if you take
Mm,
a pause,
mm.
then you can do it for a longer period of time and in a better way.
Very true, very true. So perfect. That, we said that in the first, that how that 2 hours which the doctor has said, you get up and you stretch yourself or just walk through, just look in the window or
Mm.
do anything different, and it will really revive you and you'll come back to your task in a much uh, beautiful way, in a much the activity is also larger, and you were going slump, or you were dozing off, or you were feeling lazy and not interested. Now all that is changed into good activity, eager to work, happily. And at the same time, as she said, the concentration improves, you get new thoughts, the mind is now ready to again go back to that task which you had left halfway. And you find that, oh my, there's an improvement in my work. And why is that? And slowly your mind will give you the answer, that it is because, see, I went there, I spoke to that person, or I just walked in the office or at home, a few steps here and there, and it made such a large and great change. So that is so important, that continuity is something, like we say, good, but not continuity without pauses. It is continuity with pauses that will give us the mental, physical, and the pace to work at a very perfect stage, in the sense that we are not hedged up, we are not anxious, we are not worried, we know we will do it, and we know we will finish the task which we have taken and which we need to complete. So that is another aspect. The same, as I said, it goes for students, and the same is also for the parents, when they are working at home or at office. We have seen that people who work, at a pace where it is really important for them, but they feel, no, I'll do my work faster. If I can finish this fast, I can get on to the next task. But before you come to the next task, you're already tired. If you have done it continuously, if you have not taken a break, if there's no pause, and now you have no energy and no inclination to do the next job or thing. So what else we could find, even when we, as there was I'll tell you a small story. There was this boy, Hari, and his Hari, okay? And he loved to walk very fast. And anybody with long legs and thin, lanky body. Now, wherever he goes out, for small errands or whatever work, he feels people are coming in his way. And he's all the time being grumpy and shouting, "Oh my God, why don't you move from the place?" He meets an old woman or a student picking up the bag. He gets irritated with them and doesn't have the compassion, to wait a minute. And he pushes them, nudges them, criticizes them, and is all the time, "Why don't you walk fast? Why don't you move from my way?" Is the only two things he's saying all over again with every person. So one day, an old lady told him that, she turned around and she saw him getting grumpy and ready to blast. So she told him, "Why don't you be at a pace? Why don't you wait? We are old, you are young. It could be that, even tomorrow you'll become old and you will not walk and run at this pace. And why do you run? What is the haste?" So, what was his answer? That yes, I need to finish my work fast so that I can go on the haystack and I can lie down. And those are my moments of bliss. Yes, but for your moments of bliss, you are irritating and antagonizing so many people. Is that fair? She said. So he says, "Yeah, I think so. Why not?" And then one day we see, that he's not there in the marketplace. And everybody is wondering, where is that grumpy boy? Where is the irritating comments of his? And slowly and surely, these people start visiting his home. that yes, I must go and see why Hari is not hurrying and why Hari is not to be seen and what is wrong and what is up with Hari. So they go to his house, and what do you think they found? Anyone can guess? Anyone?
Taking a pause.
No. So now it's nature that has come into, his help and teaching him a lesson. What happened? He was hurrying one fine day and he tripped and he fell. And he fell so badly that, his back and his knees got hurt. Okay, and now the doctor has told him to have complete bed rest. So he's lying on the bed. So now these women and all those young boys and men come and tell him, "Oh, you're not hurrying anymore. Why are you sleeping? Why are you not getting up and moving and yelling at us in the market?" So he says, "No, I'm very sorry. I have done something. You all know that that was not the way to be done. And now you all could not teach me a lesson, but nature has taught me a lesson. And I tripped and I fell. And I now even can't walk, few steps to the bathroom. I have to really struggle to reach there. And I understand how I was behaving with you all. And I'm so sorry." And this was it, which gave the people not only this, but even they learned a lesson. Let's see whether you are young or old, whether you are in a hurry or not in a hurry. But at all times, we have to have patience with ourselves, with others, and we understand the opposite person's dilemma. And if we don't understand, then nature is not purposely doing that to teach you a lesson, but it happens because you have inclined yourself towards it, you have gone in that direction, and now universe is teaching you a lesson and you learn at that stage. If somebody tells you don't do this, we don't listen, but when it happens this way, we are ready to listen. Another thing we all have marked is, I just remembered while saying this, that we all want to drive fast and reach the destination, but for what? Okay, somebody is waiting, but yes, you have to start 10 minutes or 15 minutes earlier, and there is going to be a traffic jam, or there is someone going to come in between your car, and you can't tell everyone, "Hey, why did you come in front of my car?" So also we have seen examples and we have read on WhatsApp, that this people, there was written, "Please have patience," and I'm a this driver, handicap driver, and the lady didn't know that, and she kept on honking and honking. And then, the police comes to her aid and tells her, "Ma'am, why don't you read what's written on the bumper?" And that is the time she read, "Oh, yes, it's a handicapped driver and I need to wait and keep patience." She felt so bad. She stepped out of her car. She goes to the driver and she tells him that, "I'm so sorry that I honked and made you more nervous, but I didn't read that line." So simple things like this, which don't take our attention, and we are left at the lurch that we just want to reach our destination, but everybody wants to reach, and nothing can be done in the traffic. So the best is you endure it, and if you endure it with, so many wonderful things, your mind going to ahead of the day, or okay, what other activities I have today do, and what are the affirmation, can I do some affirmations, and can I just smile at people around and at myself? There are so many things, when you are rather than worrying, "Oh, the traffic is not moving. And it's just, what should I do?" And you get more anxious and more hedged up. And after half an hour, 20 minutes, you reach, and then you feel, "Oh, why was all that tension and worry that I was taking upon myself?" So everything in life is, at a pace. You'll get 10 minutes late. You can always, excuse yourself to the other person that this was the scenario, but you cannot get hedged up and anxious and worried and acting, honking all the way. And like we know that it's only in our country that honking is allowed, and in foreign countries it's just not allowed. And are they not in a hurry to reach their place? Are they not also busy? Are they very free? Are they having millions in their bank that they don't have to work for a 9 to 5 job? No, we all have, but that patience, that understanding, that compassion. Now you will see that you're the police have even fined the people 500 for honking. We have to do this. It comes automatically to every human being. That why should I honk? If the car moves ahead, then I'll be able to go. So the other cars may be ahead of him also. So he's waiting. He's not in a state of, not wanting to go to trouble you. And we've seen so many bikers also, honking and taking all twists and turns and going. Are you in a hurry to what? You're earning crores of rupees, you're earning millions. You may be earning, you may not be earning, but there is a human aspect to it, some humanity, some compassion, some kindness for everyone around. And that pause, that plays such a huge part in our life rather than just hurrying and scurrying for nothing and for no reason. So I think this is one lesson we all need to learn. And what do you think about it?
We can't agree more. Like we have to, like
Yes.
if we want to get the benefit of it. I think Neelamji wanted to share something.
Yeah, Neelamji, do come.
Yes, Samina ji, you are right. Even we take breath, there is a pause,
Yes.
inhaling and exhaling, and it
Hmm.
is very necessary. And when we take a big gap between this, then we are more relaxed and more.
So true, so true. So we forgot to mention this point which Neelamji brought to our notice when we were talking about nature, day and night seasons, and we did not talk about the breath itself, the breath that gives us life. And Neelamji and everyone here, that when we, as you said, when we inhale, the thing has come that you hold that breath for 4 minutes. You count this to four, and then you exhale, and exhale more than you inhale. So you'll be able to inhale much more deeper and better. So you see these pauses which come even as we have learned earlier when we were not doing yoga, or when at our parents or grandparents' time, we did not have this. Very few families followed it. So now this has taken such a turn that even a child, even an adult person, an old person, every one of us, we know that, the breath also takes a pause in the interim of inhaling and exhaling. Beautiful, Neelamji. You brought us this point. Anyone else which we have skipped any point?
Meenaji, would you like to share?
समीना जी बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम है आज मैं पार्टिसिपेट नहीं कर पाऊंगी कोई रीजन है मेरा सर्जरी रिलेटेड बट आई विल बी सेंडिंग माय कमेंट टू यू
Yeah,
थैंक यू
yeah. Okay, thank you so much. So we may have skipped a few, but we can always, the chat is open and we can always put our thoughts there and see that how we can learn to pass this on to everyone, that why the pause is so important in life. Starting from birth till death, we also know that when a baby is born, and even he pauses before he breathes. So the doctor hits upon the child, and there's a gasp of air that enters his lungs, when he cries out. And that is the moment of the beauty of, a pause and the breath coming in between there. And so, right from birth till death, we have seen that how these pauses have helped us, have shaped us, have formed our personality, our character, And even when, like as we say, I just remembered this, that when anybody says a point, we immediately react to it, and we should not react and we should respond. That is the same as pause, that think before you speak. And every comment of anyone in life doesn't mean that we have to react. We can keep quiet, we can pause, we can give our inputs, but at a pace and in a beautiful way, and with proper respect to that opposite person, and not just blasting at them, that what you said was I don't agree with. So these pauses, and sometimes, with these pauses, that we need to respond and not react. I have seen that, it helps us so much, because the earlier thought that came in our mind when we just wanted to blurt out has now subsided, because we waited, and because of that wait, we got another sensible thought, and we responded in a beautiful way. So the reaction and the response also need a pause, and that pause is so important for not hurting the opposite person. So there's a pause there. Also, there's a pause even when we answer people. As they say, when you answer, of course, think twice before speaking, but also listen well. Now, when you are listening, you are holding your horses, and you're not just again disturbing the person who's speaking. You're waiting patiently, listening to each and every word to let the person finish. And then again, you wait, as I said, and not react and respond. So, again, that is helping. So, many, many such examples, which will come across daily in our lives. Or we also see that, suddenly when we are in doing some technical work, and our mind is having a migraine, I mean, so tired, and we are having a headache or migraine. Suddenly you feel in the midst of that, that I want to paint. And you go to your easel and your paints, and you start painting whatever comes in your mind. But that again gives you so much ease and so much comfort, that you never knew in the first place, that if I stop my technical and this hard, grueling work with a splash of paint for 10 minutes or even 7 minutes, it's going to help me tremendously to ease my stress, to relieve my pain, and to get back to my work in a more refreshing and lovely way. So that is one thing. Also, there are other things, where we can see even in exam paper, when students just rush to answer the question. What do the invigilators tell us? That read the paper twice. Do not hurry to start answering. Because in the first go, in our anxiousness, and will I pass, and will I be able to answer all the questions, we get worried. And in that worry, we have seen, and many people tell us, we have also seen, we read the question wrong. And when you read the question wrong, you're going to your answer is also going not in tandem with the question. So when we read twice, you realize, oh my God, I had read this. Thank God it's this and not that. So again, that pause of calming yourself down, of reading it twice and giving yourself a chance to answer your questions, in the right way and exactly what the examiner has asked you. So many times we find, that the questions, even on other platforms, are something different, and the people at the audience are answering in a different way. It's because either we have not listened properly, or some disturbance came, or our mind construed it in that way. But if we were in a right frame of mind, and if we had listened properly, mulled over in our mind, thought about it, and then answered, it would be like, oh, you are satisfied, and even the audience out there feel, oh, wow, it's a great answer. So everywhere the pause is so, so important, which nature automatically teaches us that, see, there is silence in the atmosphere as we see. It's only we humans making noise. As you know, somebody yelling or shouting or honking, as I said, or whatever, quarreling. And so we find, that we are the ones who are not keeping up the pace and the peace in the atmosphere, and for our mind and for others. So only if we again be silent like nature, and we see, that at times there is a rainstorm, and at times there is just a drizzle, at times there is a thundering and lightning. So every phase is different, and at every phase we learn what nature is trying to tell us, what we are supposed to do in situations when turbulent times come to us. Even in turbulent times, we many people have told us, and we know that it's a wisdom of the world, that first you sit down when you receive bad news, keep quiet, think about it, and then you respond, or just now you've planned in your mind what is the solution to the problem, not the problem worrying you. But as I always tell people, in my family also, they'll say, oh my god, what are we to do, what are we to do? No, relax, calm down. I know it's difficult, but it is possible, it is attainable. I have done it. And you will find that, once your mind is concentrating on that particular problem, your mind will give you the answers. And when those answers are given, you need to take action and follow them. You taking the action and following them, you are seeing that there is so much of satisfaction and peace within you, that even the first answer that you got to solve that problem, you will get more and more ways and answers to, because sometimes even one answer is not sufficient. So you will see that, you can get many more ways to do a particular thing in different, and get your work done, get your problem solved. And you feel, oh God, thank God I was patient, I was calm, and I had relaxed. I had a sip of water before even. And you take 10 minutes or you take 7 minutes or 5 minutes. That is not the thing is that you need to solve the problem and not worry about it till death, is what we could say. So again, a pause there. A pause even when we are eating. As we know, we don't gulp down a food. And we are told, recently I heard a lady, she said, when you eat your food, wait 10 minutes before you start. What are those 10 minutes for? That we're coming rushing in from another activity and we start eating. She says, no, you first pause and take a breath. Thank the Lord for the food that is placed in front of you. Enjoy every morsel. And then, you go to the actual this of having food. And you will see that you will enjoy it so much more, because that pause was there, and because a pause is there in each morsel, between each morsel. And you're not just swallowing or gulping down your food, you're eating it with mindfulness, you're eating it with a lot of attention to detail, and you're enjoying the food and you're thanking at the same time. So you see how it helps your digestive system and your mind, that after the food is done, you're really feeling satiated and happy and blessed. So again, a pause there, a pause in every piece of life, in every pace of life, is going to be a blessing in disguise, that you would never have even thought of it or never even have dreamt of it. Try that and see. I'm sure you all must be trying. I would love to hear your experiences, and you can put on the chat if you don't want to say it now on the WhatsApp, and we will take it further if we can with more inputs, and we can form a better help to us and to others. Thank you, Shabana ji.
Much, Samina ji. It was really wonderful. Thank you. Thank you all.